I would like to whisk you away to a South Pacific island paradise where I was fortunate enough to spend 2 years of my life. During those 2 years, I had many life-changing lessons that I take with me to this day, but I'd like to just focus on two of them: sharing and forgiveness from a Tongan cultural perspective. When I arrived in my site, I was ecstatic. It was everything that I'd romanticized about Peace Corps. There was a small outer island. There was only 800 people on it, none of whom spoke English. No running water, no electricity. It was everything that I'd wanted in my service. On top of it, I was given this amazing house that was right on the beach. Of course, everything was perfect until that morning, when I was awoken with a bang, bang at my door. I jumped out of bed wondering, what on earth could this be? Tonga is known as the Friendly Islands, and since I'd arrived, I've been treated like nothing but an honored guest. And here somebody was trying to bang down my door in the early morning. Bang, 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 it came again. I rushed to the door to find out what was wrong, and to my surprise, I found the owner of the house on the other side. Sione, what's wrong? I asked him. Now, Sione was in his mid-50s. Generally, he was the kindest, friendliest person you could imagine. His smile stretched from one ear to the next. I swear, Cameron Diaz has nothing on him. He had these bright, kind eyes, typical strong, sturdy Tongan physique. But today, all that kindness was gone. The only thing that I could feel glaring at me was anger. I want you to pack your things and leave my house immediately, Sione said. I want you gone. Now, I had no idea why he was so upset. My mind was racing. I didn't know what would happen. If he kicked me out of his house, where would I go? Peace Corps had spent months trying to set up and approve the home. I spent months getting it all ready, cleaning it and fixing the fence and digging my pit toilet. What was I going to do? And on the flip side, I was totally confused what was going on. Beyond the fact that I couldn't think of anything that I'd done to upset him, in Tonga, it's culturally unacceptable to ever show anger. Literally, from the time you're a young child, you're being taught not to get itavave, not to be quick-tempered. When you do get angry, you lose face, you're shamed. And yet here was this kind, gentle man absolutely losing it on my front door. Sione, I don't understand, I said. What did I do? What happened? Step outside, he said, and I'll show you. So I stepped into the yard, and he immediately directed my attention to these 3 large breadfruit trees in the yard. You see those trees, he said? Uh-huh. Where are all the breadfruit? Now, just a week before, there had been about 40 or 50 ripe breadfruit on that tree. If you don't know what a breadfruit looks like, it's about the size of a volleyball. So 40 to 50 of those is a lot of eating to be done, right? And when they were all coming ripe at the same time, I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't want to let them go bad, so I decided to engage in the Tongan practice of sharing and pass them out to the families and friends who had been kind to me since I'd arrived. You see, in Tonga, sharing is essentially key to their economic system. Cash is second or third to them. For them, it's a reciprocal exchange economy. They're living at a more or less subsistence level. And the most important thing is social capital, not cash. So they're constantly sharing with one another to build relationships so that they'll help one another if it's ever needed. Every time I walked down the street, people would call out, "Ha'o kai, come eat, let me share a meal with you." They would literally cook 1.5 to 2 times as much food as they needed in a given day in anticipation of friends and families, neighbors stopping by unexpectedly and sharing a meal, building those relationships and those bonds that were so essential. So that's exactly what I'd tried to do in some small way by passing out these breadfruit, which I explained to Sione, and I reminded him, "I gave some to your wife. You got them, right?" "Oh yes, I got them," Sione said, "but the ones you gave me were no good. They weren't ripe yet. And you gave more to other families than you gave to mine. Now people are saying I have some crazy person living in my house, picking and giving away my breadfruit randomly, and he doesn't even respect me. No, I want you to pack your things and go," he said. So as soon as I heard those words, I realized how that must have made him feel, hearing people talk that way, interpreting it from his perspective, not knowing how I felt and where I was coming from. And I realized I should have communicated better with him. But at the same time, his explanation wasn't sufficient for me to understand how he could be that mad and have decided, "I want you to leave my home." This was a big deal, right? So I had to piece it together quickly so that I could resolve it and find a way to be allowed to stay in this home a little longer. "Sione, I didn't realize that you like breadfruit so much," I said, almost a little lightheartedly. I know breadfruit's not that big of a deal in Tonga. Sione said, "That's not it. Well, Sione, I followed up. I didn't realize you were counting on these breadfruit to feed your family. Now in Tonga, it's a land of plenty. Everybody has plenty of food. He immediately had this look of shock. He was aghast at the mere notion he wouldn't be able to feed his family. And he started to pontificate about how I have enough food to feed half the village if I want to. My bush gardens are extensive. It has nothing to do with that. Well, all this was really me biding time while I was trying to figure out what was going on. I was also trying to talk him down a little bit, bring him back to earth and reality that, what's really going on here? Are these breadfruit that important? And as soon as I had that thought, I realized it's not about the breadfruit. The breadfruit weren't that important. This was about a social relationship. When Sione agreed to give the house to Peace Corps for me to stay there, he wasn't trying to form a relationship with an organization, Peace Corps. He was trying to form a relationship with an individual, David Dauer, the Peace Corps volunteer. And I wasn't engaging with him in the way he expected. He was bringing me in like family. And I was treating him equal to everybody else in the village. I tried to give him a similar or same amount as everyone else in the village. I wasn't investing in this relationship, the reciprocal exchange. I wasn't giving him the social capital that the Tongan culture would expect and demand. And I immediately was so apologetic. I said, Sione, kataki whakamoemole. Please forgive me. I relied on this Tongan mechanism of forgiveness. Now, when you say kataki whakamoemole, it literally means please forgive me, but generally whatever comes next should be forgiven, almost no matter what it is. It's a key tool for maintaining the peace in these small outer island communities. In Tonga, people laugh quickly, they share generously, and they forgive easily. I said, Sione, kataki, whakamoemole, please forgive me. I should have talked to you before picking the breadfruit. I should have talked to you before I passed them all out and made sure that you got as many as you want, if not all of them. I should have engaged with you more. You were so kind in letting me stay in your house, and I feel awful that I didn't reach out to you. And I hope that you understand that I absolutely respect and love you and your family, and I look forward to all the times that we share together. Can you please give me another chance and let me stay here? And with those words, I saw all of his anger just wash away. And in their place was that wide, bright smile again, those kind, friendly eyes. And Sione said, of course I forgive you, but only if you'll forgive me. David, kataki, whakamoemole, I should not have lost my temper with you. I know that you're still new to Tonga and still figuring things out, and I understand that you weren't trying to disrespect me. For a minute there, I think I was just kind of filled with the devil, but the devil has left me now, and I'm feeling better. Please, stay in my house as long as you want. You are my honored guest. With that, Sione and I embraced, and he went on his way. And I realized that my ability to analyze and understand the situation without him having to explain it to me meant that the Tongan culture was starting to be in me as much as I was in it.